So guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. So the international break is slowly coming to an end, and what does that mean? I'll tell you guys what that means. It means that this Saturday, Manchester United are back in action, back at Old Trafford, taking on Brentford, and what I want to say is our first 3 PM kickoff of the season. I'm not too sure if I'm right in saying that. I'll have to double check, but I just remember us having 12:30 kickoffs, 5:30 ones, and 8 o'clock kickoffs at night. So I may well be right in saying it's our first 3 PM kickoff, and it might bring us a bit more luck. On Saturday against Brentford, we might be able to win the game at home. Outrageous, I know. We might be able, guys, to score a couple of goals not being on TV. Am I asking for too much? Am I? Let me know. And, finally, we might be able to see a good performance. Now I'm really asking for too much, aren't I? But jokes aside, it's the first preview back from the international break, where of course England now have a new manager, Thomas Tuchel, who was set to be Manchester United's replacement if Ten Hag was to be sacked. So maybe right now, if Ten Hag got sacked in that meeting and they decided to part ways, we might have Thomas Tuchel at the realm. But no, Erik Ten Hag is still here. We will discuss more on that in a minute. But make sure to like, comment and subscribe to the channel and share. We are on the road, guys, to 7,700 subscribers, which again is absolutely insane. So thank you guys for all the continued support on the channel. I really do appreciate it. But let's get straight into it, guys. And let's talk, guys. Before the international break, there was this planned meeting with Ineos and the board. Dan Ashworth, Farada, Wilcox, everyone was there. And it was hyped up like it was this massive meeting where there was going to be a massive decision on the manager. People thought, or fans thought, Ten Hag was going to go. I was in that boat, to be honest. I thought we needed to change things. The last couple of weeks and months have been horrendous to watch, performance-wise and results-wise. They have not been good enough. So it was really time for a change. And there was no better time to do it. International break, 2 week. In that meeting, make that decision, find a new manager, and let's start fresh. I don't see it going anywhere with Erik Ten Hag in charge. Yes, we got a decent result against Villa. I mean, going there and getting a draw, in hindsight, it's a good thing, isn't it? But the way we played, the performance, it just wasn't good to watch, was it? And we played like our job was on the line as well. He played scared. He just played not to lose in that game. So for me personally, from what I'm seeing the last couple of weeks and months, I don't see how this team can progress. I mean, after 3 years, we're still relying on Erik Ten Hag, on Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire to save his ass. How's that progression? That's going backwards. These are players, and yeah, you talk about other players like Eriksen who's involved, Casemiro should be gone, relying on these players to pull you out, to give you another chance. And you're benching your own players that you signed. You're benching Martinez. You're benching De Ligt. Agate can't get minutes. After 3 years, I want to see a style of play which I can get behind. After 3 years, I expect improvement in the team. We're not seeing that. We're stale at the moment. We're absolutely stale. And I don't get why he keeps on coming out and saying we're going to be successful at the end of the season. How is this going to be successful? How are these players going to be successful when they don't want to play for you anymore? It's a strange one, and I'm a bit shocked that Ineos didn't pull the trigger and didn't go ahead and sack Ten Hag. Because yes, you got to be patient, that's fine, but you have to see improvement. You have to see a style of play you can get behind. You have to see some sort of results in the improvement, in the performances, and the results. I mean, in the performances. Like, we're not seeing that at the moment, and that's my major concern. How after 3 years we're still, we're back to square one. We're back to square one after 3 years. And his own transfers can't get... He doesn't back his own players. What does that tell you? That tells me he shouldn't be here anymore. That tells me he got it wrong. And he's now having to rely on players which shouldn't be here. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. But Ineos are basically saying, we have to get behind this manager now. How long for? I don't know. That's the thing. How long did he stay as manager, as Manchester United manager? We'll have to wait and see. I think the next couple of weeks and months are going to be even bigger and even more crucial for him than the last couple were. And we thought these were going to be crucial. I thought there was no way he was going to survive the last couple of months. And the performances, I don't know how Ineos look at that and think that's acceptable. 14th in the league, going into the international break. Manchester United. 2 games in the Europa League, 2 draws, 1 being 2-0 up, and a loss against 20. I think any other manager would have been sacked, but I don't know why they're just backing this guy to earth. I don't know why they're doing that. Come the end of the season, if we are successful, I might come on here and apologise. But there's no way we will, because these players are not playing for him. There's no style of play. We're getting found out. And even against the lesser sides, they're taught to play football. They have a good style of play behind them. They back their manager. They know their role. They know what they got to do to win games. And Brentford on Saturday is going to be a tricky game. Thomas Frank, very good manager. Probably better than Ten Hag. Probably. He's going to outplay us. He's got that Brentford team kicking even without Ivan Toney. So I'm going to expect a difficult game, guys. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below on the whole Erik Ten Hag situation, guys. But I will run through our next couple of fixtures, because I do think he's found himself now in a position where he's got the next 5 or 6 games where he has to win now. And they're all mainly winnable games other than playing Chelsea. So we got Brentford coming up. We got Fenerbahce in the Europa League, which again, that's going to be a really tricky game. Mourinho and Rabat Fred. I'm not looking forward to that one on the 24th. Then we face West Ham. Again, winnable game. The way they're playing, we should be beating them. Leicester City at home. Very winnable game. Have to win that one. Chelsea at home. Being the home team, you never know what can happen against Chelsea. It's always a close game. But yes, again, maybe a game we need to be winning in that one. In our case, I mean, considering the start of the season. And then we play Polk. Then Leicester. Oh, no, that's Leicester City. Oh, no, we play them in the Cup and the League. So we played them in the Cup first, and 2 games later we played them in the League. So yeah, Leicester City. Ipswich Town away from home again. Another massive game we need to be winning. Bodo Glimt after that. And then we'll go one more. Everton at home before we play Arsenal away. So those 5 or 6 games, which I just mentioned, have to win them all. We have to be getting maximum points out of every single one of those games. It's a must. It's a must. Considering the way you started the season, only wins from here on now until that Everton game. Maybe the Europa League games will be tricky. Fenerbahce one and the Chelsea one I'll exclude from that, because that's going to be a tricky game. But all those winnable games, the West Hams, the Leicesters, the Ipswiches, the Evertons, have to be wins. There's no excuses now. Somehow he's found himself, still in the job. Now he's got to go out there and win the games. And maybe turn us fans back into believers again. But I don't think he will. I don't see how these players can do it. Because the tactics they're playing, obviously the players can't get behind it. We're seeing it. And, you know, you talk about one major player in the team, Bruno Fernandes. When he's not playing well, I notice the whole team doesn't play well. And when he's on it, our team is insane and we can't be stopped. We're a team which, you know, I always mention this, we're a confidence team. We need every player and captain to be on it. And when they're not, you see what can happen. They down tools quickly. When things are not going their way, they can't get behind the team. They can't get behind the manager. They give up. We know what we're working with. So we just have to find that recipe to get results. I don't know what it is right now. I don't know what it is. That's up for Ten Hag to sort out. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So there's our next couple of fixtures, guys. And we're talking about team news, guys. I will have my team on the screen here somewhere, left or right. You should be able to see it on the screen. And this is my favourite part of each video now. My favourite part of each video. Predicting what the team is going to be. We know that Mazraoui is injured and he won't be making this game. He should be fit for the next one. It's nothing serious, but he was just out over the international break with some sort of injury, so he might not be available for this one. I'm not too sure right now, but we have heard that Johnny Evans could be used as an emergency left back, which again just blows my mind. Why not trust Harry Amas? I saw Amrabat play left back and that was hard enough, so surely Amas deserves a chance. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to trust Johnny Evans at left back. His legs. Oh, he's going to get torn apart. He might get sent into retirement. It might not be his choice. It's going to be a really, really long couple of weeks and months, isn't it, with this team? A long season, I should say. So yeah, as you can see, I have gone Johnny Evans at left back, guys. I don't think there's anyone else you can play there unless he goes with Amas, which I don't think he's going to do. And then right back, as you can see, Diego Dallo, and I have gone De Ligt and Martinez. I do think he will revert back to playing these two. Of course, we saw in the last game they didn't get a minute. Or De Ligt got a minute, but You know, he chose Lindelof over Martinez. He was choosing Casemiro over Agate. He was choosing Anthony over Diallo. It was a mad one. It was an absolute madness from Ten Hag. But I do have a feeling he's going to revert back to those two at centre-back. Could be Mainu and Agate. I think Agate will start this game. I think the next couple of weeks now, we will see Agate starting a lot more games, which I do think is good for the side. Obviously, we've not seen too much of him, so we can't really get a grasp on what he's going to be, or how he's going to fit into the side, and how big of a role he's going to play yet. But I just want to see him get minutes now. That's what I want to see. Consecutive games, and just keep on going with him. Trust him, because I do think we bought him for a reason. I do think he's a very good player, and he can have an impact on the team. So I have gone with Agate and Kobe Mainu. Bruno Fernandes, although he should be dropped, he's not going to, let's be honest. So I am starting him in this game. And then I've gone with Rashford, Diallo, and I've gone with Rasmus Højlund over Xerxes. I'm not seeing enough from Xerxes, and I think Xerxes needs to know he's got a lot of competition in Rasmus Højlund, and he needs to improve his game massively, because it's been nowhere good enough. It's not been what we expected so far. And again, he just looks like a player devoid of confidence. He looks like a player who has no idea how to play football at the moment. I don't know why that is. Maybe he's just getting used to the league or something. I'm not too sure what's going on with him. So I would put Rasmus Højlund in, just to basically say to Xerxes, do you know what, mate? I'll put you on the bench this game. Realise you need to step up now. So that's what I would do. That's my team going into the game. So let me know your thoughts down below and any changes you guys would make. And also, guys, I am going to have a Brentford fan coming onto the channel to give you guys a bit of an insight on Brentford's season so far, their key players going into the game, his thoughts on Manchester United, and his thoughts and score predictions going into the game on Saturday. So enjoy, guys. I'll be back in a second.
To start with our season so far, on the whole, very, very positive. We've picked up points and wins in the games we've been expected to, and in the games against the big oppositions, we've not disgraced ourselves at all. Like Liverpool, for example, it was 2-0 and we played well in that second half against them and probably could have got a goal. Man City was arguably the best we've played all season if you take into account the opposition. Took the lead in the first minute and had chances and just couldn't take them, and when you're playing Man City, you can't afford to do that. Spurs was a bit frustrating, we couldn't do more against them, but again, when you're against the type of players that they have, you can't expect much. But our home games and against weaker opposition, so to speak, we've fully taken advantage of them and getting positive performances and positive results. For example, Southampton, who are arguably and definitely the worst team we've played so far, they were very, very poor, and we took full advantage of that. Wolves weren't much better at that either, and we were fully able to score 5 goals. Slightly concerning that we conceded 3, but on the whole, it was still a very positive performance. And yeah, it gives us good confidence coming into the game at the weekend. As for our best players, well, the obvious one would be Brian Mbeumo, who people would say he's been the best player so far, but I and many others will say Miko Damsgaard's been our best player this season. His performance levels have gone up and up and up, and they're just getting better and better. And we're finally seeing that the type of player that we saw in that Euros when he scored that free kick against England. We've finally seen that player, and it just makes me and so many other fans so happy, because we've stuck by him for so long, and it's finally coming to fruition, and it's so great to see. Along that, Nathan Collins at the back has been very positive, completely upped his performance from last season too, because he was shaky. He'd either be very, very good or very, very shit, basically, and there was no in between. As for my thoughts on the game at the weekend, as I've said before, United aren't in the best of place at the moment, and there's a lot of quarters to go. But if we do manage to get a victory, then I would not be surprised if they pull the trigger, because I just don't know how long they can keep it going on for. Because a club of Man United can't be affording to be as poor as they are right now. I am positive that we can get something. Do I think I will? Do I think we will? I'm not as confident. I think it will be a draw, and I think I'll be very happy with a draw if we do get it. I think it will be end-to-end 1-1 draw. I think it'll be a game that we do have chances in, but we just don't take them again, and it'll be a game that we'll be unfortunate not to win. But yeah, I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. But yeah, I'm positive going ahead.
So yeah guys, thank you very much, mate, for coming on to the channel. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you guys got a bit of an insight on what to expect from Brentford this Saturday. Of course, we know the last couple of weeks they've been scoring a lot of early goals, 3 games in a row. I think before the second minute they've scored, or just over the second minute. It's absolutely crazy what's going on right now. They obviously found the recipe to do that so far, so we have to avoid those first 2 minutes and being conceded on, because that would not be good. Because other teams haven't learned, so surely Manchester United can learn on Saturday to avoid that second minute goal. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, guys. But yeah, I really like Mbeumo as well. I think he's a really good player, and he's obviously filling the boots of Ivan Toney right now. He's playing really well. The ever so consistent Mbeumo is going to cause us a lot of problems. And yeah, overall, guys, they don't have a lot of star quality in their team, but they're players which know what the manager's asking of them. They can do their role pretty well, and they play as a team as well. And when you're that sort of side, which is going to be maybe mid-table, if you have that chemistry and you have that belief, which Brentford have, they're always going to go well. They're always going to be able to pick up results now and then against the big teams like Manchester United. And, you know, so far they've done really well. I think they're getting a couple of results. You know, they won 5-3 against Wolves. They picked up a few other wins so far this season. They have lost and drawn a few games, but they're a team which are expected to be around that mid-table area and maybe push up the table a bit if they can, you know, after getting some results. But, you know, they're a team which will cause us a lot of problems, and we have to watch out for them. I think Thomas Frank will have a plan. Erik ten Hag probably won't have a plan, and that's going to be the difference on Saturday, I think. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Final thoughts, as I've mentioned, guys, it's a game we got to win. Fresh from the international break, these players have to come back now, and they have to start improving. This manager has to come back from this international break and turn things around. It's a must now for him. He's got this, you know, 3rd or 4th chance in the job now, where his job has been saved again. So maybe, just maybe, on this 3rd or 4th attempt, he can make things right and turn us fans back into believers. But as I mentioned earlier, I just don't think these players and the manager combined are capable of doing that. I really don't. They're devoid of confidence, of players right now. I mean, yes, we got a good result against Villa. In hindsight, as I mentioned earlier, it's not a bad result, but we have to build on that now. And these next 5 or 6 games are going to be absolutely crucial for us in the league. So yeah, guys, make sure to like, make sure to comment and subscribe. As I mentioned earlier on in the video, we are back, guys. Videos will be every week again now until the next international break. So stay tuned, guys. Let's hope for a win, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.